So I would say we start ahead. Welcome everybody to the EU.FFICIENT launch event of the communities of expert facilitators. My name is Theresa Neuhauser from EIT Manufacturing, and I'm going to be your host for the next hour together with my colleagues who will explain you the project EU.FFICIENT and what the communities of expert facilitators are about. Let's have a quick look at the agenda for today. So we start with an introduction to EU.FFICIENT, as I just said, and an overview of the communities that we have. And then we're going to deep dive into all of those 4 communities, which are advanced manufacturing, health tech, mobility, and AI digital. And after that, we're going to do a platform demonstration session and show you how the EU.FFICIENT platform actually looks like. We're going to close today with a Q&A session and answer any questions that you might have. And before I hand over to the next speaker, just some housekeeping rules. We have a Q&A tool. On the bottom of your screen, you have this Q&A tool. And if you can post any questions throughout the whole sessions in that tool, please indicate to which speaker and presenter your question is directed to, because we're going to answer all of the questions in the end. Please keep an eye on the chat, because we will post some useful links throughout the session. And of course, you can also use the chat during the whole webinar. And now I tell you something that I would not tell an audience normally. Please also keep your phones in reach, because throughout the slides, we're going to have some QR codes for you to scan. And now we just dive right into the first agenda item, which is the introduction to the EU.FFICIENT projects and the reasons for you to join the EU.FFICIENT communities of expert facilitators. And this is presented by my colleague Dionysios from KU11. The floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Teresa. So before we jump into the objectives of the project, I would like to present a bit ourselves. We are a large consortium of partners ranging from universities, industrial clusters, and industrial partners. And we are funded under the Horizon Europe program. But what is EU.FFICIENT? Our objective is to enhance collaborative processes across Europe through the establishment of communities of expert facilitators. But what are those communities of expert facilitators? Those are platforms for industrial experts, academics, public sector representatives, and society members to come together and share knowledge and co-create, finally, solutions. But what is the definition of an expert facilitator? We have come up with this definition of expert facilitator so that you can identify yourselves with this. So the question comes, are you a technology transfer officer, business developer, research manager, group leader, or any other sort of professional that bridges the gap between research and industrial application? Then most probably you are also an expert facilitator, and therefore you can benefit from the EU.FFICIENT community. As an expert facilitator, you play a crucial role in fostering cooperation and innovation, as you can tackle complex technical fields, you have essential skill sets, and you provide tangible results. Also, you are able to connect with diverse entities such as industrial experts, academics, and research organizations and public bodies. Finally, you have a culture of innovation, and you can deliver high-impact solutions. But how can you benefit from EU.FFICIENT, our project? Well, within EU.FFICIENT, we create these communities of expert facilitators, and the members of those communities can gain access to personalized training, networking, and hands-on learning. Some examples of the training program can be found here, and as Teresa already mentioned, you can scan this QR code and get access for those exclusive training offers. This training program essentially empowers the expert facilitators with the skills to drive the impactful collaborations. Now, these communities of expert facilitators focus on 4 different sectors. The first one is advanced manufacturing, health tech, mobility, and AI digital. And in the future, we're going to build another 2 communities of expert facilitators. So keep in touch, keep connected so that you can contribute to those communities, either these 4 ones or the 2 following up ones. I pass the floor back to Teresa to introduce the following speaker.
Thank you so much, Dionysos, for that very brief introduction. If you have any questions, please use the chat or the Q&A tool. Don't hesitate to text us any questions you might have. And now we dive deeper into those said communities of expert facilitators, and we're going to start off with advanced manufacturing. And this is going to be introduced by Christophe from Flanders Make. Christophe, are you with us?
Yes, indeed. If you can show the next slide, please. Yes, advanced manufacturing is quite a very broad term, but in general it refers to the use of innovative technologies to improve products and processes. And thereby it integrates cutting-edge tools, automation and data analytics to enhance productivity, flexibility, and sustainability. Now there are some core technologies which we can define in the field of advanced manufacturing, and perhaps you know most of them, like digital twins, like 3D printing. Underpinning it all is advanced materials, of course, what we call industrial Internet of Things, automation and robotics, cyber-physical systems, which is a difficult term, but for example, take autonomous cars. These are typical examples of cyber-physical systems. And underpinning more and more, all of it is artificial intelligence and machine learning. And this is immediately the link between this community and another community will be introduced a little bit later, the community of AI digital. Now, expert facilitators in this field, they are typically from universities, from innovation centers, from research centers, and they are like project managers, innovation managers, business developers, tech transfer professionals, so the people who can make the link between academia and industry. So if you go to the next slide. Now, in advanced manufacturing, we can in fact discern a few long-term trends and challenges. The first one, smart interconnected products and production systems. This is what you could also call Industry 4.0. More and more companies are familiar with it, but still not all of them. But a new trend that is coming up is what we call Industry 5.0. So it is involving agile, resilient, people-centric manufacturing organizations, whereby the well-being of the employers becomes foremost. Think, for example, the increased collaboration between robots and humans, how to do that. Another part of Industry 5.0 is, of course, sustainability. And this is what you see at the bottom right. Sustainable products and product systems become more and more important. And a final long-term trend that we see is customizing products, but at the price of serial production made possible. So very cheap, but still customized products. And of course, we think that the expert facilitators within advanced manufacturing, they have a background in these fields and they can bridge the gap between research and academia to help companies applying these long-term trends. And this is a little bit what it is for advanced manufacturing.
Thank you so much. And we're gonna just go right next to the next community of expert facilitators. This one is on health tech, and I'm asking my colleague Rasha from CIT UPC for your words about the health tech community.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Teresa, for this kind introduction. So I'm Rasha or Radivoy from CTUPC. So the CTUPC in this project coordinates the health tech community of expert facilitators. So maybe you ask yourself, what is the health tech really about? So nowadays, as we all know, we are witnessing ever-increasing transformation of various sectors, and obviously the health sector is not an exception. No, so all those sectors are being influenced by new disruptive technologies, and then health tech appears as the integration of healthcare and technologies that has the potential to save lives and make lives better for millions of people. Those new technologies, among the ones that you can see below, such as AI, ML, so robotics and automation, Internet of Medical Things, etc., etc. Oops, there are many others. They're bringing numerous benefits for both medical staff and also for patients. Those benefits are, for example, remote patient monitoring, real-time diagnostics, enhanced medical training, etc., etc. While those benefits are various, obviously, on the other hand, we should also be very aware of various pressing issues and concerns that those technologies bring along. So having this in mind and having in mind these complexities of the whole health tech ecosystem, there is an evident need and importance of involving not only health and technology professionals, but also experts from various other fields, which is where you come along. So which is why it's so important to create and maintain these communities of expert facilitators. They can take the following roles. For example, they can be project managers, they can be innovation managers in R&D, they can be business developers, they can be clinical innovation coordinators, tech transfer officer, etc., etc. So maybe some of you already identify yourselves with some of those. And those expert facilitators, they typically belong to various institutions, such as universities, research centers, and foundations, hospitals, health tech clusters, association, etc. So going to in the next slide, you will see going back to the challenges that I mentioned, those new technologies bring along. Some of the most pressing challenges in health tech that we should be very well aware of are, for example, patient safety and ethics, digital health literacy, cybersecurity and data protection, as well as the regulatory complexity, and then various limitation and bias of those technologies, especially nowadays applied to AI and machine learning. And of course, there is a pressing concern as well about the ever-increasing human-technology interaction, as well as the technology acceptance by the users, both by the medical community and the patient themselves. So those challenges definitely need to be tackled to really benefit from this integration of health and technology, while having minimum drawbacks. So that is why it is also very important that we build and maintain and keep active this health tech community of expert facilitators, and we really hope to see you there. Some of the trends that we are witnessing nowadays related to health tech, as you can see below, are AI-powered diagnostics and clinical assistance, then advancement in various technologies such as wearables, robotics, telehealth, remote patient monitoring, etc., as well as application of AI for various fields. Especially interesting, for example, is AI for predicting possible future pandemic, epidemics, etc. So you can expect to get to know all this and many other topics if you join our communities. So we definitely invite you to follow us, and we will keep you posted on various training opportunities, networking events, both online and physical in different formats, such as workshops, conferences, trainings, etc. So thank you very much. And I think this is a good introduction for our next communities of expert facilitators that is very well connected to ours as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you have identified yourself already in advanced manufacturing and health tech, don't dial out. We still have 2 more, and they're also very interesting. And we're gonna hear now about the mobility community from our colleague Annika from the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Germany.
Thank you very much, Teresa. Let's dive right into the mobility CEF. And as Rasa already mentioned, that one is very interconnected and a bit broader than the others. Why is that the case? Mobility is the ability to move or be moved freely and easily, at least as per definition by the Oxford Dictionary. And we see many difficulties of society in our days that fall within this category. That's why we try to keep mobility a bit more open. Not only, as you see in my icon up there, the bicycle, or on the page on the other side where there's the text, the train, it's way more. It's everything in between and far beyond. So we mean mobility and the entire surrounding systems, and all of that can be tackled and discussed within this CEF. So we take a look at mobility from the environment and society and their needs towards the infrastructure and everything surrounding traffic. And that's all independent of the actual mobility system as such. Then we're taking a look at the driver, the vehicle as such, the mean of transportation, and it even goes deeper into the system, components, materials, and elements of the mobility systems can and should also be discussed within our mobility set. Therefore, can we go back one more time? I'm using a lot of words to describe little words on the slide, so I'm hoping you guys can follow along. So we want to enable and discuss the mobility of our future and include society's needs and pains concerning mobility, and that from the broad perspective towards the specific technology, where we have a lot of interconnections to the other CEFs. Now I'm ready for the next slide. Perfect. So the challenges we're facing are, for example, the technological complexity, the digitalization of the mobility needs, as you might have taken a look into your local mobility app that only goes until a certain station. And if you want to go beyond, you have to use a different website, you have to use a different booking tool. Or if you're on a conference in another country, you first have to figure out. So there's a lot of complexity within that, what lays behind. Also, regulatory compliance. There's always the connectivity difficulty. We have infrastructure development. Here's an example, the connection from the city towards the countryside and back, but also customer acceptance when looking into specific technologies, like, for example, hydrogen-powered vehicles. There's always the society that needs to be taken into consideration, and what they are willing to accept and what they need to learn and be prepared for. Therefore, they need to be involved in the process, close stakeholder connection to get to customer acceptance here. And of course, sustainability, we've also heard it in the other CEFs, is a topic within the mobility. So if that is something you are discussing within the mobility environment, it's something you can place here, and you'll find a variety of experts that can discuss that with you. We as a KIT have the ability to guide this community since we're closely related to the Center of Mobility Systems here at KIT, where when you have specific questions that are not yet answered within the community, we can even take it further, and we are trying to make sure that all our discussion points here find an appropriate discussion partner. And as you can see, it's usually not, the variety is so big, it's usually not always answered by one person or one group of people, that we accept with broad discussion and a variety of different people meeting within the mobility CEF. And some of the trends you're probably familiar with from the news, net zero emission and the mobility infrastructure on a physical and a digital level, and the rising mobility needs, and also making sure that the quality of life in cities stays on an acceptable level. Microsharing and flex commuting, some of the trends and buzzwords you've heard. So I'm sure a lot of you can make the connection to their expertise here, and I'd be very happy to see you within our CEF with your own questions or involved within ongoing discussions. All right, I'll hand back to Theresa.
Thank you very much, Annika, for your explanations. And now we are already at the last community of expert facilitators on the topic of AI/digital. And this is presented by Tanja and Milan from the University of Maribor. Please go ahead and let us know what this community is about.
Okay, thank you for the floor, Theresa. We at the University of Maribor, Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, are welcome and happy to introduce the community of expert facilitators on artificial intelligence and digital. And we are starting with a comic that reflects key tensions in today's artificial conversations. As you can see, both solution developers and solution adopters are very excited about the artificial intelligence and the growing number of tools it powers. And this enthusiasm is very welcome. It's absolutely valid, and we are happy for it. But this first hype or first excitement often skips over the harder questions. Does this solution follow ethical principles? What happens when the decisions are made without human oversight or even critical thinking factor? Who is responsible when things go in the different directions? We believe that at this point, neither the developer nor the user or even facilitators cannot just afford simply to ride the wave of innovations. We must invest our time, and with our time we mean knowledge, for understanding how artificial intelligence actually works and how it can affect at the end of the day, and how it must be designed and developed with care. These dimensions will shape how artificial intelligence is being integrated. And now I will hand over my word to colleague Milan, who will guide us through the key pillars. Milan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tanya. Yes, AI ecosystem has changed in the last few years. If I will describe it as a transition between AI winter and AI summer, this transition is more like an explosion. And from the AI developer point of view, we are still not there. We are still not fixed. The trend of AI development is still very steep, and we have to focus not only on the technical background, but also on how it influences the wide community. Looking from the digital literacy, the comprehension of what digital literacy means has changed a lot. Educators in primary and secondary schools are baffled because they don't know how to grade works from the students. Developers in companies who are not AI experts do not know how to include AI in everything. And AI has become a buzzword. Everything tries to sell us AI. So our AI facilitators will focus on the main pillars. First, going along with what digital literacy means today or what will it mean tomorrow, because we don't know when this trend is going to end. Next, understanding AI good enough in order to use it and align it with principles that EU supports. So we have to know that EU is, regarding from the global point of view, the strictest part of the world regarding AI. Next, ethical and responsible sustainable use, not only from those who provide AI solutions, also those who use them. And ethics has to reach completely another level if we want to use AI in order to progress. So we need to use the adaptive learning mindset, and we have to be able to forward that message not only to users but also to those who will be including AI in their solution.
Milan, you are now muted. Could you unmute, please?
Yes, sorry. Teresa, yes, I see you started the poll. Within this poll, we would like to see your personal view of what is going on in your field that is being influenced by AI. And we are not only talking about topics that you are familiar with but also topics that concern you or those who are you are least confident about. Okay, we will leave this poll open and we can move to the next slide. So the training priorities, first, trustworthy and explainable AI. If you use a tool which we cannot explain how it works and what it does, that is not very good for being confident in our field, because AI is considered as a supporting field, not so much a standalone, because AI without the domain is usually not that useful. Those who provide us with solutions usually have the scissors and the paper in their hands. So we need to be good at detecting bias. And if we are a solution provider, we need to assure that algorithms are fair. Being aligned with data governance, with GDPR compliance and so on is a big challenge, even especially when we try to compete with Eastern and Western competitors in this field. Additional complications come from sector-specific use cases. In this case, if we just look at our CEFs, health education, and mobility, we are facing quite a lot of challenges. So for organizations and for users, we, with our community of expert facilitators, intend to promote the fair use of AI, intend to promote the usage of tools, and we will have to do a lot of hard work in order to keep up with advancements in AI. Okay, so this is it from our point of view. Thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you. We're going to leave the live poll open for a few more minutes because I still get the answers in. So you can still vote, and the colleagues will take your answers. They're all anonymously, and they will evaluate them and take them as an input for further content in the project and in the community. So thank you all. Thank you to all of you for explaining what the communities of expert facilitators are about. And now you might ask yourself, how do I get there? How can I be in those communities? And for that, we have Elena from InnoGet with us, and she will demonstrate how the platform actually works. Elena, please enlighten us.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Teresa, and I want to thank all my colleagues as well for this in-depth overview about the sectors and also what the project is about. And I'm here to present the digital part of it, where all the magic will happen, basically. So on the next slide, we see the home page of our future website, where users will interact and post different kind of postings. And what I will do today is I will dive into different sections of the platform. The first thing I want to mention is that it is very much similar to the other social networks that you are familiar with, for example, LinkedIn. Right now, we're looking at the profile section, which all the users will have, where you will see the about myself section, where you can provide information about yourself, what is your main field of expertise, where did you study, etc. And also, what is important here, you see the certificate section. And this is actually the connection to our training modules and our collaboration with UIIN, who will provide for now 9 learning courses. And after completing each one, you will get a badge, which will, of course, enhance your expertise in a certain field. So in order to demonstrate that, we have a section where we show the badges. I think on the next slide, I'm also showing the connection of these 2 platforms. We have a on the left sidebar, we have a section where where there's a button which is called Learning Modules, which redirects us to this list of the courses. After completing each one, we get a badge that can be uploaded to the profile section. And after the learning modules, you see the section which is called the Library of Resources, where we will have also more materials that you can read to better dive into in specific sectors, and also understand the concept of co-creation better, and any relevant topic to this whole project. And after it, we see groups. So as everyone explained in this webinar earlier, we have 4 main sectors. So each one has a dedicated subgroup on the platform. The reason we did it is that we want people to filter the content in a better way and directly dive into the content they're really interested and passionate about. On the main feed, you will, so for example, when the user registers, you will be able to choose one sector in the beginning. So on the main feed, you will also see the specific sector that you will select. But after, if the user wishes, you can join more groups. So after you are part of 2 groups, on the main feed, you will also see the content from 2 groups. However, if the user still wants to see the content only related to advanced manufacturing, we can see that you can, for example, go to the specific group of advanced manufacturing. We have a little description here in case you will have to remind yourself what is advanced manufacturing about. And then what is interesting, I think, in the this platform and what makes it different from other social media networks like LinkedIn, for example, because it's, as I said, the user experience is pretty similar. We have 4 types of template posts. The reason for that is to make it easier for the users to just not to start from zero, you know, and we came some kind of format already in order to accelerate this co-creation processes. The first type is a bit generic. It's about if you want to write a question to people and ask to people who are part of advanced manufacturing as well, or if you found an interesting article and you want to share it with others. And that's more of a generic type. The second one, which we can see on the next slide, is the co-creation project. This is first you have to give the title to this kind of format of the post, and then you have to describe the co-creation project. Usually it happens with a company, so you can mention the company, you can mention the stage you are at, what you are looking for, and important aspect of it is that when you post this, it is posted like a regular post. Of course, it has like a designated format, and people can like it or comment and or message you, and then the co-creation happens accordingly. The next type of post we have is looking for the mentorship or a mentee. We call it offer and request type of a post, because someone can offer their mentorship or request a mentee or vice versa. That's basically when basically when people are looking for someone who needs a mentorship or needs a mentee. And this type of posts are as well made within different CEFs. So based on which sector you are interested in, you can post there accordingly. And the last one is events. Events are this regular template where you can create an event. It can also be a webinar that you want to share, which is relevant to any of the sectors we have presented. And the events can be published within the sector that you will select, or there are generic events that will be found on our portal as well that interested people can join and learn and etc. And finally, I wanted to show you how our registration looks like. Pre-registration is already available. For those who are interested, please go ahead and sign up on our platform. And after, right now you won't be able to fully access it, but you will soon get an email notifying you that we are already live and the link to get a full access to the platform. So feel free. This is the information you need to fill in: name, surname, email. You will set the password already and select one at this stage sector, so-called CEF, and afterwards, when you are the part of the platform, of course, you can join others as well.
Well, thank you so much, Ellen, and also the rest of the speakers. And I think you already took away one of the questions that we received. It was many experts are working in cross-sectoral fields. So can expert also select many groups to make a better profile? I think you mentioned it, that you can join more of those groups and communities. Can you just reconfirm that it's possible that somebody can join health tech, mobility, and AI, or only choose one of them as well?
Of course. So in the beginning, we made it in a way that you can join one, because I thought sometimes users, especially when it's a new project, can get overwhelmed by all this feature, even though it's very intuitive. So in the beginning, you join one in the registration. But of course, if you are interested, the moment you join, you can instantly request to be part of another group, which automatically gets approved. You don't even have to wait, but we did it in a way that the user kind of gets used to the fact that there are different parts and not everything is messed up. And also after, if you wish to leave one of those, that's also possible. Like maybe you need a break from AI for a bit and you want to switch to mobility. I don't know.
All right, thank you. I actually have one more question to Dionysos, who in the beginning mentioned that you are planning to opening 2 more of those communities. Do you already know the topics? Which 2 communities will be opened up at a later stage?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Teresa. So we have some initial ideas, possibly about electrification or automotive or something similar, but we are open to suggestions depending on the needs of our audience. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to reach out to us or write them also in the chat, and then we can decide based on your suggestions as well.
All right. So again, my request to the audience, if you have any question, now is your time. I'm going to continue with those questions that I've received in the meantime, but please feel free. We still have a little time. We are way ahead of schedule. So if there's anything you would like to know from our expert, this is your chance today. And now I have one for Christoph, because you mentioned that there are some courses, trainings offered within the platform if you're part of that group of expert facilitators. Are those courses for free, or do you have to pay for them?
Oh, as I understand it, they are free. So in fact, that was also a question that I have, but I think Dionysius knows very well that those courses are, in my opinion, they are free of charge. They are part of the project.
Very good. That's an amazing news for everybody who wants to get some free trainings. And there's also some concerns of, most people that go to the platform most likely come from a professional environment. They want to solve some concrete business cases. So if somebody's looking for someone with specific expertise, if they are looking to find consortium partners for project proposals, is this something that the platform can be used for? Is this the use you intend for the community?
Perhaps Dionysius, you can answer that?
Yes, sure. I thought you were answering. Okay, I think that's part of the offer module of the platform. So people can offer their co-creation opportunities there. For example, projects is one very good opportunity to co-create. So in that respect, I think the platform is meant to be used in that way. We encourage to actually post any such collaboration opportunities.
All right, thank you. Maybe Rasha can answer the next one for the health community. Will there also be some kind of networking events for the health community? If so, are they physical, are they online? How do you make sure that the community stays engaged and they actually, exchange and engage in discussions?
Okay, perfect. I can take that one. So yes, the response is definitely yes, and not only for the health tech community, but also for the others. There will definitely be networking events and networking opportunities for all of them. In concrete, for the health as well, we will have both physical and online events. So we invite you to follow us, and we will keep you posted. For now, I can maybe pre-share some information that there will be a major health tech physical event in Barcelona in October this year. We can share the information with the participants even in the chat. But then again, if you follow us, if you subscribe, if you register on the platform, we will let you know about all the other possibilities.
Perfect. That sounds good. And now some last questions for Annika for the mobility community. So the company I work for specializes in the development of apps for the use of shared mobility devices like bikes or e-scooters. Does this person fall into the community for mobility, or is it something else?
Absolutely. It's absolutely a topic we can discuss in our mobility CEF. Even though you're more on the software development side of things, you're still solving a mobility problem, and we're sure we can connect you with other experts that can assist, can be part of it. And it's something you can either post in the question type of format that Elena introduced, or if you have a concrete question for a project or for a search there, there's also a second type of post that could be suitable for that. If you have a question or want to discuss something that's a bit more towards one person only, or you found one expert that you want to discuss with in more detail, you will always have the option to discuss in a chat with an individual you might have had the answer. So you can connect with that person, and you can also discuss that in a chat if you do not want to post it visible to the entire community. So you have multiple options, and sure, the topic fits into our CEF perfectly.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Another question just came in, and I'm just addressing it to the bigger group, and whoever feels to answer can answer. Coming from the community of INDUSAC, which is another Horizon Europe project, where the students could benefit from co-creation projects. Will that be the case now in the co-creation projects of the EU.FFICIENT platform too? So are students as well welcome in the platform and in the communities?
Maybe I can take up this answer. So within EU.FFICIENT, we have the definition of expert facilitators, but we decided to open this definition up for people that would like to become as well, or to train themselves to become expert facilitators. And that's why we have all those lists of trainings that we offer. And also we have the opportunity to look for a mentor. So in case you would like to increase your skills in co-creation processes, you can look yourself for a mentor. And you can benefit from this procedure. So in that respect, I think students are very welcome in the project, and I think they will be an essential part of the community, as they will be the ones that are trained and they're looking for advice and looking for more opportunities to co-create with other experts from this sector or from other sectors.
All right. Thank you so much. I hope this answered your question. If not, please text us again in the chat or the Q&A tool. And then I have one more that relates again to the mobility topic. Annika, you explained on your slide there's a lot of challenges and topics and current issues with different forms of mobility. Are ethical concerns of mobility also part of this community, like, not finding a new solution or a new app, but also discussing, for example, the fairness of mobility offers in cities, like the elderly is not necessarily be able to use the scooters or bikes. So is this also something that you would talk about in the community, or is that out of scope?
That's also a very good question, and I would again answer yes. What I cannot promise is that there are many experts for the ethical questions, so I'm unsure if there will be people to answer these questions from a philosophical point of view, but we will have the experts that can solve it from a practical point of view, from our various perspectives, like the perspective of academia, the industry perspective, and also the public perspective. So if you want to take a look at these concerns from various perspectives, I'm pretty sure you can do that successfully in the CEF. And if it turns into a bigger discussion, I'm pretty sure we can host an event, maybe an online event, to invite somebody who can also discuss that from an ethics point of view. So there's many options, and I want to use this as an invite. Also, we've heard that there's a event coming up in Rasa CEF already in October. I would like to invite all the German-speaking, mobility-interested participants to an event where we're going to discuss a lot more about EU-FFICIENT, especially in the mobility sector. It's on the 2nd of July in Karlsruhe. So if you're interested and German-speaking, I'll post a link for you in the chat.
Perfect. Annika, maybe you can send it to everybody in the group. Great. And I've had actually another question in the chat here. If we as experts decide to join the platform and the trainings, should we also take mandatory some projects to facilitate, or we can just build our competences and share those at our daily job? Who wants to take that one?
I can take this up if there is no problem. Yeah, I think the idea of the platform is to co-create, but of course you are welcome to join the platform to increase your skills and apply them in your everyday life. And maybe later on in the future, you think of a co-creation opportunity, or you have a co-creation opportunity, or you are looking for a co-creation opportunity, and then you will be able to use that module as well. But for the moment, it's not exclusive only for providing co-creation or participating into co-creation opportunities. You can increase your skills, and then maybe in the future you decide to become part of a co-creation process as well. So in that respect, yes, I would say you are welcome to join the community.
Perfect. Then I think it's a wrap. I don't see any more questions in the chat at the moment. Seems like we have answered everything so far. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you to all the presenters and speakers. And of course, we invite you to stay in touch with us. And we have some QR codes to scan on our next slide. There's our website, which is EU.FFICIENT.eu. You can register on the platform via those QR codes. You can sign up for our newsletter to get the latest information. And you can also follow our LinkedIn page to not miss any important information. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I have a hand raised. Yes.
Yes, Teresa, thank you. I would just like to see that we have a lot of Slovenian participants in the audience. We will be also organizing a national event at the beginning of September. So please follow the platform. We will announce the workshop on time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very important information for all Slovenian colleagues that are here today. So, in case you have missed any important information from today, the webinar was recorded and we will make the recording and the slides available to you in the next days. Please make sure to follow us to get all the updates you need. Check out the platform. The link is in the chat or in that QR code here. And if you have any more questions that are coming up in the next minutes, hours, or days, please reach out to the consortium. You can use the contact form on our website. And with that, it's all from me today. Thank you so much. We hope you have enjoyed our webinar, and we hope to see you soon in our community, in our platform, or at some of our events. Thank you and goodbye.